Dee.
In a statement, Trump confirmed the search, saying, quote, "They even broke into my safe." But overnight, ABC News could not confirm that allegation. Sources say the search was related to 15 boxes of documents Trump took to Mar-a-Lago from the White House. According to the National Archives, some of the boxes were marked as classified.
Most legal experts, including attorney Jeffrey Robbins, say it would have taken an extraordinary effort to successfully execute a search warrant on the home of a former president.
This must be the most vetted, the most comprehensively vetted and scrubbed application for a search warrant in the history of search warrants. Scrubbed and put together by a team of the FBI, scrubbed and put together by a team at the Department of Justice, reviewed at the highest level of the DOJ and the FBI, signed off on at the highest levels of both, and then submitted to a federal judge.
Neither the FBI nor the Justice Department have confirmed the search. The January 6th committee interviews former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo today. Also, text messages from talk show host conspiracy theorist Alex Jones have now been turned over to the committee. In Wisconsin today, voters in the Republican primary have their choice of election deniers in the governor's race. One of them has been endorsed by former President Trump. The other has a support of Vice President Mike Pence. Both say the election was rigged. Gas prices haven't been this low since early March.
The Energy Department reporting regular unleaded dropped another 15 cents in the past week to $4.03 a gallon on average in the U.S., but that's still 87 cents higher than it was a year ago at this time. The cheapest gas right now is along the Gulf Coast at $3.54 a gallon. The most expensive gas remains in California at $5.30 a gallon for regular unleaded.
ABC's Alex Stone. You're listening to ABC News.
Ew, Dad, why are toenails so ugly and yellow?
Hey, it's James, and if you're like me and suffer from toenail fungus, please pay close attention. Let's face it, toe fungus is embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off and hid my yellow and crumbly toes from everybody. But nail fungus isn't just a cosmetic problem. It can also be dangerous. Even a small spot can spread and get worse. But no matter what I tried, it seemed like my fungus would never go away. Then I discovered Crystal Flush, the new FDA-registered at-home treatment. This unique two-step system flushes out fungus at its source and reverses damaged nails. Finally, me and thousands of others are free from fungus. And you can be too. Call now, and for a limited time, you can try Crystal Flush risk-free for 30 days. Call 800-764-9219. That's 800-764-9219. Eliminate your toe fungus once and for all, guaranteed. Call now, 800-764-9219, or visit crystalflush.com.
As blistering heat, historic drought, and record flooding impact millions across the U.S., new data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, shows just how extreme this summer's weather has been.
NOAA reports last month the average temperature for the lower 48 states reached 76.4 degrees. That's 2.8 degrees higher than average, making last month the third warmest on record in the U.S. Only July 2012 and July 1936 were warmer. For Texas, last month was the warmest on record. Temperatures topping 110, putting the electric grid on the brink. And August is typically warmer than July.
ABC's Andrew Timber. A vaccine to prevent a tick-borne illness is headed to the testing phase.
Pfizer and French pharmaceutical company Valneva are looking for thousands of volunteers in the U.S. and Europe to test a vaccine which blocks a tick bite from transmitting Lyme disease. Volunteers will get 3 shots, either a vaccine or a placebo, between now and next spring's tick season. A year later, they'll get a single booster dose. Lyme disease causes fatigue, fever, and joint pain, and often a red, round bullseye rash. It would be the first new vaccine for the illness in 20 years. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
New York City Council meets today for a special hearing on the wave of asylum seekers bussed in by Texas Governor Greg Abbott. New York Mayor Eric Adams is saying that the new arrivals are overwhelming the city's shelter system. This is ABC News.
Imagine everything you need in one place, all within reach at your fingertips. Welcome to your Appy Place, the all-new Staples Connect app, where you can save money with just a tap. Exclusive app-only savings and all your rewards in one place. No searching, just saving. Now, download the Staples Connect app and get $10 off your next $50 in-store purchase. Download the Staples Connect app today and find your Appy Place. Offer ends 12/31, in-store only. See app for full offer details.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
It's the time of year to come to NC Tractor for the selection of Massey Ferguson tractors and Bobcat zero-turn mowers. NC Tractor gives fantastic customer service, the best discounts possible, and it's a locally owned business. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue is helping to make outdoor work more enjoyable. Shouldn't you have something that you can be proud of for a long time? Massey Ferguson and Bobcat zero-turn mowers. Come look them over. 299 Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton. That phone number is 288-0395.
We've got 2 more hot days before we start to see a transition back to the 80s Thursday and into the weekend. Now, later today, the high in the low 90s. It's about a 30% chance for a few storms, and some may last into the evening. The lows tonight, upper 60s to about 70. Wednesday is partly cloudy, 40% chance for showers and storms in the low 90s. Thursday, mostly cloudy with showers and storms likely, the high in the 80s. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
And we are experiencing some pretty thick fog out there in Radioland. You may have thicker fog than we do here, but please watch out for that as you're out and about. If you're getting ready to leave your home or going to your destination, watch out for the fog around those curves and banks of fog pretty strong this morning. And we're reading 70 degrees on our thermometer today, 70 degrees, warming up to about 90 with a heat index around 96 and southwest wind only 6 miles per hour. Don't have any record right now this particular printed forecast of rain, but I had another forecast that showed maybe rain showers later again this afternoon like we've been experiencing these past few days. We'll just have to wait and see which one of those forecasts is correct. 6 minutes after 7 right now. And we'll go to the phones in a few moments to find out what's been happening around the neighborhood. Right now we have these death announcements. Francis Raymond Frank Rutkowski, age 89 of Spindale, died Thursday, August 4th at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. The funeral service will be held at 2 o'clock today in the Pageant King Chapel. Military honors will be accorded on the chapel lawn following the service. The Pageant and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Francis Raymond Rutkowski. Barry Franklin, 69 of Bostic, died Thursday, August 4th. A memorial service will be conducted at 11 o'clock Saturday, August 20th at Cooper Springs Congregational Holiness Church. The family will receive friends following the service. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is in charge of the arrangements for Barry Franklin of Bostic. Henry Neal Soapy Castles, Sr., age 87 of Charlotte, died August 4th. Services will be held Wednesday, August 10th at Mountain Creek Baptist Church, Mountain Creek Road, Rutherfordton. The family will receive friends at the church from 11 until 11:55 prior to the service at 12 noon. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. Mike Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of those arrangements for Henry Neal Soapy Castles, Sr. Thomas Tom Harold Dotson, age 54 of Svindale, passed away Friday at his home. A celebration of Tom's life will be held at 12 o'clock today at Grays Creek Baptist Church. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. The family will greet friends from 11 until 12 prior to the service. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is serving the family of Thomas Tom Harold Dotson. Wanda K. Petty, 70 of Bostic, died Monday, July 25th at Fairhaven Home, Bostic. The celebration of life will be held 11 o'clock Saturday, August 13th at Plainview Baptist Church. Washburn Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is serving the family of Wanda K. Petty of Bostic. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For the complete information on these and others as they become available to us, be sure to tune in this morning at 11:35 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon Call Around the County newscast for the complete information on these and others as they are available to us. Well, the Braves were off last night. They will resume scheduled baseball again tonight, and tonight's scheduled for a series, I believe, about 2 games. Boston, they'll be at Boston tonight, and that airtime for tonight, it looks like it's about 5:55 for the pregame. We'll join that pregame following News 13 at 6 for Braves as we continue the series with the Atlanta Braves baseball right here on the Braves station, WCAB. Now here's Bill O'Reilly with the morning update.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. But first, many timeshare owners are very upset because their yearly dues have nearly doubled. Well, Lone Star will guarantee the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. With their A-plus rating at the Better Business Bureau, clients know that Lone Star Transfer is a company you can trust. For a free consultation, please go to LoneStarTransfer.com or call 855-551-7066. On this Tuesday, I noticed a study out of the University of Michigan that estimates the slow death of people who eat comfort food. Researchers selected what tastes good and subtracted minutes from our lives if we consume the following. Bacon. For every helping, your existence will be 6 minutes shorter. Pizza, 8 minutes shorter. Double cheeseburger, say goodbye to 9 minutes. Soda, 12 minutes closer to death every beverage. And the absolute worst is eating a hot dog. For every frank digested, you lose a whopping 36 minutes of your life. Now, if that study is true, I should have been dead 8 years ago. My mother boiled hot dogs like a mad woman. I thought I might die on the spot eating them. Who knew back in the 1960s that hot dogs were the new Black Plague? And what about that Joey Chestnut guy? He's still walking around after eating thousands of dogs. Bacon and pizza are American staples, and the average lifespan in this country is approaching 80. So what's up with that? Easy on the double cheeseburgers, though, if you're not auditioning to play Fatty Arbuckle. Soda is the devil, let's be honest. Check out the label. Sugar, sugar, as the Archie sang. Soft drinks will kill you. It's just a matter of when. The calculation we all must make is, what kind of longevity do we really want? You can eat kale and broccoli, but is it worth it? Especially when you could be eaten by a shark at any moment, and they don't care what's in your stomach. Back after this. I am excited about a new streaming platform called VidGo. VidGo gives you the freedom to be entertained at a price you can afford. VidGo has all of my favorite live sports networks. They have a great choice of news. All of that for $59 a month. You deserve the freedom to be entertained at a price you and your family can afford. Please go to vidgo, vidgo.com/Bill to check it out. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
The Braves are rolling through the summer with some huge matchups and must-win battles, and we'll bring you every pitch.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Base hit. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
Tonight, don't miss a minute of Atlanta Braves baseball live from Fenway Park in Boston as Austin Riley and the Braves take on the Boston Red Sox. Braves radio's on the air at 5:55 Eastern, 4:55 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
WCAB, the most music's on us.
George Davidson went to school in Philadelphia, where he earned a doctorate in astronomy. In 1845, he joined the U.S. Coast Guard in Geographic Survey. For 2 decades, he studied the geography of California, Oregon, and Washington. During the midst of America's negotiations with Russia for the purchase of Alaska, Davidson was sent up there to do some exploration. What he discovered excited him, and he decided to go back after Alaska was a part of America. 2 years later, he went back to Alaska. Davidson was told that because of their previous encounter with some Americans, the Chilkoot Indians would probably welcome him with firearms rather than open arms. Davidson's initial encounter with the Chilkoot Indians on August 6, 1869 was tense at best. Davidson explained that he was there purely to do scientific research, that he wanted to observe a total eclipse of the sun that he said would happen the next day. The Indians laughed at Davidson's prediction and left thinking he was touched by the spirits. On August 7, the sky grew dark over the Chilkoot Valley. The moon eclipsed the sun, as George Davidson had predicted. The Chillicoot Indians were so astonished with the event and the fact that Davidson had predicted it that they not only left Davidson alone, they left the area. More than one historian has speculated that a piece of information George Davidson had learned while in school that he probably thought was just an interesting astronomical fact actually saved the lives of George and his party. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
When your taste buds are screaming for delicious, head over to Jesse James Railroad Express. Enjoy fresh cooked burgers, garden salads, hot dogs any way you like, French fries. Enjoy a refreshing milkshake or a hand-dipped ice cream cone. They're open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 4, closed Wednesday and Sunday. That's Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Ruth. Call ahead, 828-447-4644. And Mondays only, hot dogs with mustard, chili, and onions, only $1.24 each. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express.
Now it's 16 minutes after 7 o'clock. It's time for us to turn our attention toward the crime-fighting world here in Rutherford County with our Sheriff Chris Francis on the phone. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I am doing well, and this foggy morning is pretty thick out there, I see.
It is that for sure.
Tell us what's been going on.
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded 168 calls for service. There have been 15 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 182. Among those arrested by the Sheriff's Office, Julie Nicole Moore, 36-year-old female of Mooresboro, was charged with trespassing and received a written promise to appear. David Nathaniel Daisley, 26-year-old male of Ellenboro, was charged with 3 counts of failure to appear and received a $500 unsecured bond. Stephen Allen Lovelace, 40-year-old male of Ellenboro, was charged with failure to comply, child support, received a $200 cash bond. Jimmy Wayne Cole, 36-year-old male of Mooresboro, was charged with interfering with a utility meter and also possession of drug paraphernalia, received a written promise to appear. Angela Lynn Rubio, 40-year-old female of Ellenboro, was charged with larceny and received a $1,000 secure bond. John Casey Gazik, 49-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with fictitious information to an officer after he failed to heed the lights and sirens and received a $1,000 secure bond. Randy Marlon Hodge, 46-year-old male of Mooresboro, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 unsecured bond. Michael Eugene Hyder, 45-year-old male, was charged with harassing phone calls and received a $1,000 secure bond. Michael Joe Jimerson Jr., 55-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to comply, non-support, and received a $55 cash bond. Among our incidents, we had obtained property by false pretense on US 6474 Roveton. The victim advised that they had fraudulent checks made out and also had been forged after they had obtained and sought out for an online loan. In a separate incident, we had a larceny on Main Street in Ellenboro, Dollar General. This is where Angela Rubio later was taken into custody after stealing, looks like a 12-pack of sodas as well as a loaf of bread. We had a break and enter in larceny on Vickers Road in Roaston. Looks like a relative stole prescription medication from the victim in this case. We had to fail to stop for blue lights and siren where John Casey Gazer was taken in custody off Oak Grove Church Road. We had a break and enter in larceny on Morningstar Lake Road where a steel weed eater valued at $480 and a Husqvarna leaf blower valued at $350 was taken. And we had a larceny on Ellenboro Henrietta Road where a known subject stole a debit card from the victim, and the same was disabled before it was able to be used. Jim, that's what we have to let you know about this morning.
Sure, but excuse me, I noticed the Sheriff Department now has a big monster a machine there to help with crime fighting. Tell us about that and how can that help the Sheriff's Department?
Yes, sir. We have obtained a Bearcat in the last month. We have been looking at obtaining one for quite some time. It's an armored vehicle is to protect deputy sheriffs and the public from folks that want to do us harm. Unfortunately, we have been shot at several times in Bearcats and other armored vehicles that we have borrowed. from both the Henderson County Sheriff's Office as well as the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office. But it is a good tool to have if someone needs to be extracted to a safe area. It's also good in flooding, can be utilized in that scenario as well. So it has a lot of uses to protect both deputies and our citizens in a time of need.
Yeah, I was glad to see that happen. I'm glad you're now equipped with that. It's going to be very helpful in the future, I believe.
It will really help our response time. Instead of having to borrow one, we'll have one a lot quicker. And sometimes you need 2 or 3. So now we'll just be able to help the region have one more resource that can be utilized by all police departments and sheriff's offices in the western North Carolina.
Sure, Francis, thank you very much. You have a safe day out there, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Attention, all of our WCAB listeners, here's a way that we can help the people in Kentucky. And thanks to Henson Building Material, they are the collection point for the much-needed items. Toothbrushes, toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, baby wipes, diapers, rubber gloves, cleaning supplies, other items, soap, body wash, deodorant, disposable razors, feminine hygiene products, adult diapers, hairbrushes, combs, new towels, washcloths, and bedding. Please drop all donations at Henson Building Material by noon on Friday, August the 19th. Now, if you prefer to make a cash donation, they will use 100% of the funds raised toward purchasing these items. Help us, help Kentucky. This message brought to you by Henson Building Material, working together to help families affected by the recent flooding. And please remember, drop all donations off by noon Friday, August the 19th.
Now, here's Marie reporting from 911 Communications Center on this Tuesday morning. Good morning, Marie.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
Okay, in the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications Center has processed 423 911 administrative calls, which consisted of 69 for EMS. For law enforcement, the Sheriff's Department had 168. Forest City had 58. Lake Lure had 8. Rutherford had 51, Spindle had 55. For fire calls, Ellenborough responded to a motor vehicle accident, a mulch fire, and an illegal burn. Forest City responded to a residential fire alarm. Lake Lure responded to a residential fire alarm assisted by Chimney Rock. And Sandy Mush responded to a power line fire. That's all I have for the morning.
Thanks, Maria. Hope you have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
We'll check in now with the fire department community there, the SDO. Ruby Taylor is on the phone to give us that report. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's on that report today, Ruby?
Well, they're quiet, I reckon. Hadn't heard anything. And on my birthday calendar, I got Dawn Amos, Philip Root, Dean Putman, and Ella Godfrey having birthday. Hope they have a nice day, and the signs are in their knees today and going to the legs tomorrow. Jim, that's all I got.
All right, Ruby, you have a wonderful day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Now we'll climb up the mountain up to Fairfield Mountains. It's difficult to see this morning. It's so foggy. Gary, are you fogged in up there?
Trying to cut a hole through it right now, Jim. Yeah, there's been some patchy fog around in places. We go along, it won't be too bad, and then go around the next curve and about running into a bank or something. So
that's exactly right.
Give you a little extra time this morning to get there. It'll burn off after a while. And sitting on about 70 degrees out there this morning, and no precipitation to speak of in the last 24 hours, just a little sprinkle or two. And one fire call for a medical, and that's the only calls we had. And got one announcement over at Bills Creek. Let's see, that was, today is Wednesday, right? Yes.
Today's Tuesday.
Tuesday, tonight. I can't even get my days right anymore. Tonight at Bills Creek, their clubhouse, they're having a meet and greet. They remodeling the clubhouse, get ready to open it back up, and back to reunions and some dinners and stuff over there. And they're inviting everybody to come by and take a look at it. And they'll have some coffee and cake for you, and they'll start at 6 o'clock. So I hope everybody will turn out and go by and take a look at that. And that's about all we got up here this morning, Jim. Everything going along pretty good.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. You enjoy your day, and I will check back in with you on Wednesday.
All right,
thanks. Bye-bye.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
On this terrific Tuesday morning, we're heading over toward Bostic now to get the report from Bostic area this morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing great. Is it foggy over in Bostic this morning?
It is a little bit foggy.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to clear up in a little bit and get hot again.
Yep, I believe you're right.
Okay, our temperature is 70 degrees over here this morning. The fire department did not have no calls, but they held a monthly meeting last night. We have one birthday, Ruby Robbins. We want to wish her a happy birthday. Don't forget to stop in by Washburn Store there on Boston Sunshine Highway and check all their items out. They have something for everyone. And our blessed box is located on Depot Street here in Boston. Go by and leave a blessing or pick you up a blessing. And take the kids out to the park and let them enjoy it today. And hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Well, the kids won't have many more days, except those those are too young to go to school. They'll be starting back pretty soon, so they better take advantage of these days right now.
Absolutely.
You have a wonderful day over there in Boston, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
All right, Cherry Mountain Fire District is our next stop, I believe, and I believe Sue Price is over there, lives in that community. Is that right, Sue? Hello?
This is Bob at Hudlow. Is that the one you're calling?
That's right. I'm trying to reach you, Bob. I jumped over one time, didn't I? Yep. This is Bob. This is Bob Hodge. He lives up in the Hudlow Fire District. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. We'll start over again here. Yeah. Good morning.
I get distracted here in the Blue Room sometime, and I forget where my rotation is.
Well, sometimes you get your tongue over your eye tooth and can't see what you're saying. Sometimes
get the cart before the horse.
That's right.
Well, how you doing?
Well, Jim, we're doing just fine up here on this foggy Tuesday morning there. We've got a thick fog moved in over here this morning, so
yes.
Everybody be careful out there driving till it clears up this morning. And with the fire department, it's been quiet overnight. We hadn't had any fire calls. Other than that, things going along good up here so far this morning, and not too much going on, so I reckon that's a good thing. So
yeah, that's good for the guys. They don't have to get out overnight. I like that.
That's right there. So, but Jim, that's about it, and I hope you have a good day now.
Thanks, Bob. Thank you. I'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 7:29 on this terrific Tuesday morning. To win in sports, you must adjust your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Why not let Andrew Tisdale, your Edward Jones financial advisor, help you create a game plan for financial success? Call 828-287-9197 and get started today. That's Andrew Tisdale at Edward Jones Financial Advisor, 828-287-9197. Now let's see. Let me roll down the index here. I believe it's this is Sue Price over in Cherry Mountain. Good morning. Good morning,
Good
Sue.
morning, Phil.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Well, good. Looks like we're going to have another beautiful day.
I believe so.
Hot one, though. Well, let's see. I enjoyed the music this morning. It was all good.
Good. Thank you.
I remember being in that big old auditorium, those white flags waving.
Yeah. Yeah. Pull out those white handkerchiefs, wave those flags while he was singing.
Yeah, it was good. Well, let's see. I didn't have any calls from the fire department. I have no birthdays on my church calendar. On my personal calendar, I've got Linda Gilligan, so I hope she'll have a good day today, and nothing on Fairviews, and I still don't have First Broad, so not too many celebrating that I know of, but we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. And in my announcements, the Piney Mountain Boys will be at Duckins Creek Church on the 28th during the morning worship service. And so far, that's the only announcement I have. It's just quiet and calm over here looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one, Jim.
Well, I hope you have one, too, and get plenty of rest today and enjoy the beauty of looking out the window because it's too hot to sit out on the porch today.
That's right.
Have a good one. I'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You know, one of the things that I think is frustrating sometimes for those folks who have medical problems and have to work up all this insurance stuff and ask the same old questions over and over again, and sometimes you wonder if the insurance is going to cover it or not. Then you go to the doctor and you have to wait, and they might spend maybe 5 minutes with you and say, well, see me in 30 days. Here's a plan I think is going to work for you, your family, and your company. Are you tired of waiting for weeks and months to get an appointment with your primary care provider, or looking for a primary care provider that spends 30 minutes with you instead of just 10? There's one right here in our area, Brock Family Care, located at 289 Shallow Road in Forest City. Brock Family Care provides primary health care and urgent care services for you and your family, as well as coordinate care between hospitals and specialty care. They don't accept insurance, but they have a unique pricing model that should be pleasing to everyone. Check them out at www.brockfamilycare.com or simply call 828-382-7282. All right, let's check it up at Shingle Hollow, North Carolina. And some folks call it Shingle Holler. Let's go talk with Tina White, see what's going on up there. How's things in Shingle Holler this morning?
Well, everything's calm and cool this morning in Shingle Holler.
Do you call it Shingle Hollow or Shingle Holler?
It's 71 degrees up here. We have a birthday for Todd. Hold on a second. I need to get my glasses. We have an anniversary for Todd and Lynn Wildenberg. And the fire department was all quiet. And I don't have any announcements this morning.
Well.
So it's just a quiet morning.
You could have slept in this morning.
I could have, but I have a doctor's appointment this morning.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope things work out fine for you.
They'll fix me right up.
We'll have a whole new lease on life when you get out of there.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Well, have a wonderful day in spite of it, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.
Okay, everybody stay safe, and God bless you.
See you. Bye-bye. That's Tina White reporting out of Shingle Holler, North Carolina, with our report from up there. Nice and quiet again. And we'll check in up at Union Mills in just a moment. But let me remind you that if you have those clothes that need clean, you want them done right and still look good. If you got those uniforms you work in, maybe you have a business attire that you wear, get them cleaned and looking good and pressed really well by taking them to Folks Cleaners there at the Lifestyle Shopping Center there. They're just right before you go to Lifestyle. You'll see them right there in Rockwood Plaza. And they'll do a great job. If they need press, they'll press them and dry clean, laundry. They do all of that. And it's a good company to do business with. You'll like them. I like them, and they got a drive-up window there, door. You just don't even have to get out of the car. They'll take them for you and have them back for you in a couple of days. All right, let's see. We're going to go up to Union Mills now and see if we can find somebody up there to talk with us. Hello, is anybody home up there in Union Mills?
I'm always home this time of the morning.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling mighty fine.
You getting better?
Well, the people that I've talked to on the phone said I sounded better. I don't know if I do or not.
Yeah, I think you sound better than you did the other day.
Yeah, so I'm improving. So.
Good.
So I've been taking that. I didn't take no medicines yesterday. Mucinex, that stuff. I have to have a chaser with it when I take a dose. I have to drink something else behind it. And that Robitussin cough syrup, same way. I'm no good at taking liquid medicine.
Yeah.
No. But I took it up until yesterday, so I hope it helped me. I didn't go to the doctor because I didn't even know if they'd see me and me with COVID, so. Is what it is.
Sometimes they won't.
I know it. Yeah. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just tough it out. The good Lord to take care of me, and he has.
Good.
Well, let's see. I've got 68 degrees on the front porch tonight. We don't have fog up here. I looked out, and I didn't see any, so I guess we're lucky there. So.
Yeah, maybe you're too high up.
Might be. But I've got 68 degrees, and I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries. But in ways of announcements, Saturday and Sunday, August the 13th and 14th, ASI Alumni Reunion at Union Mills Learning Center. The Learning Center was formerly Alexander School. Saturday is a time to meet and catch up with friends. Annual meeting in the afternoon. Sub sandwiches and homemade ice cream will be sold on Saturday. Sunday worship will be held in the auditorium at 11 a.m. Reverend Johnny Cope will speak. Lunch will be available in the downstairs dining room at noon, prepared by Union Mills Learning Center, and it's $10 per person. Gifted School Community Center will have a buffet breakfast on August the 13th, starting at 7 a.m. and going to 10 a.m. Adults, $8. Kids 6 to 12, $3. Kids 5 and under free, and money goes to help support the community center. Gospel singing and cookout at Macedonia Baptist Church. This is at 1372 Macedonia Church Loop, Nebo, North Carolina, 28761. This is off of Vane Mountain Road. August the 13th, 1 p.m. until, featuring Middle Cross and Polk County line. Then we got the Nanny Clan reunion, Sunday, August the 21st, 12:30 p.m., Round Hill Baptist Church Fellowship Hall. 6585 Hudlow Road, Union Mills, NC, 28167. Round Hill Baptist Church invites you to attend the worship service at 11 a.m. Covered dish luncheon will begin at 12:30 p.m. Plates and utensils provided. Business and history program will be presented after lunch at approximately 1:30 p.m. On the program, there'll be discussion Shadrach Nanny and James Harvey Nanny. And other than that, I don't know of anything going on.
I always think you're going to say Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego when you.
Well, yeah, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Well, I hope you get to continue to feel better, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Okay, have a good one. You go check on Luther and make sure he's good to his wife today. I believe Sue said it was her birthday.
Her birthday, that's exactly right. I hope he remembers that.
You get on to him, okay?
I will. You see you, Brenda.
Catch you later.
Bye-bye. It's Brenda Kelly reporting out of Union Mills this morning, and we're going over to Ellenboro next. Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City. And Ellenboro is our next stop. That's where we'll find Luther Gilligan this morning, probably in front of a coffee cup, ready to tell us the news. Good morning, Luther.
Good morning to you two. I hope you're having a good day.
I'm having a great day. I hope you are.
Hey, I'm having a marvelous time down here, sitting here drinking coffee.
Hey, listen, before you get in trouble, I want to remind you that today is your wife's birthday.
It is.
So
I'm going to get up, got up, fixed her breakfast, and left her a good note and all that stuff.
Did you really?
No. Nope.
Well, don't forget her birthday today.
I told her I'd take her out for dinner tonight.
There you go. No, that's good thinking.
Yep. 11 o'clock today was when she was born.
11 o'clock on this date. Well, that's...
Yep. 76 years ago.
Aren't you a lucky man that you came across her in your life?
Hey, man, I had to go 10,000 miles to get her, but it was worth the trip.
Oh, 10,000 miles. Where'd you get her?
Okinawa.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is she an Okinawan?
No, she's American. Her stepdaddy was stationed in the Army over there the same time I was.
Okay.
So I met her over there when she was 15.
Oh, yeah.
She followed me home, so I decided I'd keep her. She come home after I did. I left her on her 16th birthday. I left to come home.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad y'all got together and stayed together.
Yeah, we've been together 58 years.
Wow. Well, that's great.
Good while. Good time. But it's been a good time. Looking for many more. But get back to the business that's going on down here. It's quiet down here this morning. Not a whole lot going on. The fire department, they had one medical call yesterday. Had one illegal burn. Had one tractor trailer wreck on the bypass last night. Blew up on a tar and flipped him over. Took about 5 hours to get cleared up from it. Said he got back in about 11:30. Hear that. So everything quiet this morning. Everybody just getting their gas and heading on out to work. So nothing else happening down here. You have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
You have a good day, too, and tell your wife I said happy birthday.
I will do that.
Thank
you. Take care.
See you, Luther. Bye-bye. And that is Luther Gilligan's report from Ellenboro. It is time for other birthdays to be called in now at 287-3356. If you're celebrating today or know someone that is, call that to us, and we'll celebrate along with you. Give you a big shout-out this morning on the radio. It's 287-3356. Meanwhile, if you're looking for a good breakfast you can enjoy with yourself, by yourself, or with family and friends, just suggest, let's go to Granny B's. I've heard Jim say they got a great breakfast, and they do, and I think you'll enjoy it. Even an omelet or just maybe some eggs scrambled with some toast and sausage maybe, whatever you like for breakfast, they can prepare that for you. And anytime you eat lunch over there, you're going to be well rewarded with a delicious sub sandwich. It's a great place, breakfast and lunch. They're open Tuesday through Saturday, and if you like good food, you like Granny B's. They're in Spindale.
Happy birthday.
Birthdays called in this morning, but we want to remember some folks who are. 1944, Sam Elliott was born, great actor. 1950, Chris Haney invented the game of Trivial Pursuit. Born in 1950, died in 2010. 1963, Whitney Houston was born. She died in 2012, a tragic death. Some of the events of this day: 1831, U.S. steam engine train ran. First U.S. steam engine train ran. 1893, first U.S. bowling magazine published. 1898, Rudolph Diesel obtains patent for internal combustion engine, later known as the diesel engine. 1930, Betty Boop debuted. 1944, Smokey Bear debuted as spokesman for U.S. Forest Service. Only you can prevent forest fires. 1945, U.S. dropped second atomic bomb on Nagasaki in Japan. This is National Book Lovers Day, National Rice Pudding Day, and National Veep Day. So now you're up to date on this date in history here on WCAB. Stand by for Keys for Confident Living. Top of the hour, Andrew Tisdale will be in the Blue Room. All right here exclusively on WCAB.
Has a friend ever confided in you that they failed to express words of love and thanks to a recently deceased friend? That they wish they had taken opportunities in the weeks and years past to say thank you, or I love you, or I'm sorry? The following poem by an unknown author says it well. It goes like this. Too often we don't realize what we have until it's gone. Too often we wait too late to say I'm sorry, I was wrong. Sometimes it seems we hurt the ones we hold dearest to our hearts, and we allow such foolish things to tear our lives apart. Far too many times we let unimportant things into our minds, and then it's usually too late to see what made us blind. So be sure that you let people know how much they mean to you. Take the time to say the words before your time is through. Be sure that you appreciate everything you've got, and be thankful for the little things in life that meant a lot. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. You cannot do anything about the past, but you can change things from this day forward. You can begin today to let those who are dear to you know how much you care for them. I remember a college professor reminding us that we should give bouquets to loved ones before their funeral. His advice still makes good sense. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living. Scripts for these programs are sold in book form by calling toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS.
The Braves are rolling through the summer with some huge matchups and must-win battles, and we'll bring you every pitch.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Base hit. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
Tonight, don't miss a minute of Atlanta Braves baseball live from Fenway Park in Boston as Austin Riley and
Classic oldies from the vault of treasure music, heard here each day, throughout the day and night. And following 9:30 this morning, we'll get back into that vault and play some of your favorites from the days of sipping cherry cokes and holding hands in the drugstore or walking down memory lane with your lover. Be sure to stay tuned and make WCAB 100.9 FM or 590 AM your radio station of choice, and tell your friends and neighbors about it. Good friends recommend us to your friends. News is coming up next, and Andrew Tisdale after that.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. FBI agents raiding former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. They moved in last night searching the Florida residence. Here's ABC's Jonathan Carl.
The FBI had no comment, but Trump put out a lengthy statement calling the search politically motivated and attacking the FBI. Though FBI Director Christopher Wray was handpicked by Trump to replace James Comey after Trump fired Comey.
And ABC News chief legal correspondent Dan Abrams says Wray would have had to have known about the search warrant. He also says of the idea that agents were only looking for boxes of classified materials that may have been taken from the White House.
I would think that that's overreach. I think if it's just literally that the president has documents that he was legally obligated to turn over and there's nothing more, I would think that would be a mistake on the part of the Justice Department. But we have seen great care by this Justice Department not to go too far.
And just like during his presidency, Americans on both sides reacting very differently when hearing of the news.
They should not be doing this. This is a disgrace. Total witch hunt.
When you talk about our democracy being at stake, indict Donald Trump.
They were both outside Mar-a-Lago last night. The three white men already serving life in prison for murdering Ahmaud Arbery have also received federal life sentences for violating Arbery's civil rights.
They should not be.
Outside the federal courthouse, Arbery's family is calling this good justice.
It's been a long fight, but I'm so thankful that God gave us the strength to continue to fight.
All three of these men were pushing to serve their time in a federal prison, worried that their lives would be more in jeopardy in a state penitentiary. But the judge decided that the state pen is where they will stay.
ABC's Steve Osunsami in Brunswick, Georgia. Both Republicans running for governor in the state of Wisconsin's primary today are 2020 election deniers. One of them has the backing of former President Trump. The other has former Vice President Mike Pence's support. You're listening to ABC News.
There's still time for business owners to claim their federal aid under the Employee Retention Tax Credit Program. Cash refunds of up to $26,000 per employee are available for employers who continue to pay their employees during the COVID epidemic. Many businesses qualify and simply do not know it. All business types and industries may qualify. You can claim the credit even if you received a PPP loan. This is a cash payment and not a loan and can be claimed now. The licensed CPAs and tax professionals at Ferguson, Timar & Associates have been serving business owners across the country for over 15 years. The best part is that until you receive your cash payment, you don't pay us a dime. Our tax credit specialists are available now at 833-ERC-FILE, and your tax payment estimate is quick, easy, and free. That's 833-ERC-FILE to qualify you and your business for up to $26,000 per employee of free federal aid. Call us now at 833-ERC-FILE. That's 833-ERC-FILE.
As blistering heat, historic drought, and record flooding impact millions across the U.S., new data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration shows just how extreme this summer's weather has been. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more.
NOAA reports last month the average temperature for the lower 48 states reached 76.4 degrees. That's 2.8 degrees higher than average, making last month the third warmest on record in the U.S. Only July 2012 and July 1936 were warmer. For Texas, last month was the warmest on record. Temperatures topping 110, putting the electric grid on the brink. And August is typically warmer than July.
The New York City Council meets for a special hearing on the wave of asylum seekers being bussed in from states like Texas. New York Mayor Eric Adams saying that the new arrivals are overwhelming the city's shelter system. There's a vaccine in the works to prevent Lyme disease, and it's heading into the testing phase. Here's ABC's Daria Albinger.
Pfizer and French pharmaceutical company Valneva are looking for thousands of volunteers
volunteers in the U.S. and Europe to test a vaccine which blocks a tick bite from transmitting Lyme disease. Volunteers will get 3 shots, either a vaccine or a placebo, between now and next spring's tick season. A year later, they'll get a single booster dose. Lyme disease causes fatigue, fever, and joint pain, and often a red, round bullseye rash. It would be the first new vaccine for the illness in 20 years. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
This is ABC News.
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward and master 5th grade math.
I can't do this. It's impossible.
Not you, Dad, your daughter. Staples will help her move forward.
Right.
Right now, Staples comp books and number 2 pencils are just 50 cents each. Plus, 2 pocket paper folders are only 25 cents each. Everything on your list at amazing prices. Staples, we're not going back. We're going forward to school. Ends 8/27 in store only, limit 30.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
We're tracking the chance of a few isolated storms into our Monday afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see mostly sunny skies, a hot one for us with highs in the low 90s, but still feeling like triple digits. Into tonight, we drop into the low 70s with a few clouds and a stray shower. We'll see mostly sunny skies for our Tuesday, another warm one with highs in the low 90s, feeling more like triple digits, and the chance of a few isolated showers and storms once again into Tuesday afternoon. A bit cooler weather on the way for Thursday and Friday. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione in the Weather Center.
Right now, 71 degrees, clearing off out there. There had been some thick fog earlier. I believe that fog is about to burn off, at least here. But check where you are as you go around some of those mountain, curvy country roads. There may be some fog still banked up out there, so please watch out for that. 5 minutes after 8 o'clock, and it's Tuesday morning, and it's Andrew Tisdale Day, and we will get to him in just a moment.
Matt Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Rutherfordton has been a family business since 1953, offering care, dignity, honor, and unique opportunities for families to create a healing moment after a loss. John McMahon and his fine staff bring experience coupled with perspective to help in paying tribute in a traditional or unique way. Call 287-4715 or visit online today at www.mattmahansfuneralhome.com. There, you can view current obituary information or pre-plan for yourself or loved ones. Matt Mahan's Funeral Home offers healing to the community through burial and cremation services, grief support, whether it's a funeral or a memorial service. Matt Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Services knows the importance of ceremony and will guide you in honoring the life and memories of your loved one. Call Matt Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Services today at 287-4715 or visit them at 249 South Main Street in Rutherfordton.
Well, it's 6 minutes after 8 o'clock, Tuesday morning, as I mentioned, and Andrew Tisdale Day. And ladies and gentlemen, he's here in the Blue Room with me right now. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm pretty darn well.
You run this morning?
Did I run this morning? Yeah. No, I sure didn't. Yeah. I did boxing.
Boxing?
I did. Yep.
Who'd you box with?
There's this big old bag down in the basement, and he insulted me last night and he thinks I can't hear him, so I had to go take it out on him.
There you go.
Yeah,
well,
it's crazy that he solts me, but he don't have any arms to hit back.
As long as you stay active, I think that's the key, right?
That's right. It's one of those things where it don't feel good getting down there, that first step, but then after you're done, you think, I'm so glad I did that.
Most of you who've been listening a long time know Andrew Tisdale. But those of you who are tuning for the first time, new to the area, Andrew Tisdale is the financial advisor with Edward Jones, and he has words of wisdom for us this morning.
Well, I appreciate you taking me and putting me on that pedestal. That's right. When can I be retired? When can I choose retirement? If you're like most people, your work has been a central part of your life, so wouldn't it be nice to have the flexibility to decide when you no longer want to work? Here are some questions that you want to ask yourselves. The best start is, when do I want to? Now, this is a double-edged sword. Okay, I wanted to yesterday. That is actually the number one answer I get in my office. When do you want to retire? Yesterday. But what's it really going to take? If you think about a time frame that you would really like to retire, here's some considerations. Okay, what is the expectation of your life? How do you figure that out? We don't know what tomorrow brings, but you can look at your history of your family. You can look at your health. You can look at how it's going, and you want to give yourself time to enjoy what's left. What kind of lifestyle do I want to live? Do I want to be able to travel a lot, or do I want to do day trips? Do I want to live just barely getting by and have a few dollars left every month? Am I okay with that? Or do I want to feel actually comfortable as I go through? Now, when I look at that, here's a question I want everybody to ask. What's my number? And it's not your age, it's what you saved up. So am I investing enough? Retirement is not an age. Age does not determine retirement. It is the number. What can I live off of, and do I have what it takes to live off of that? Another question is, when do I take Social Security? A lot of people says everybody should do this. Everybody should do this. It's not about everybody. It's about your particular need. Because if my life expectancy, really, if I go through my family, is only 74, 75, should I wait till I'm 70 to draw? A lot of things factor into that. So when do you want to retire? And what is your number? Find someone to talk us through, because guess what? Everybody can do it. America still allows everybody to do this.
A lot of people listening to this morning probably at that point in their mind, should I or shouldn't I?
It all comes down. What's your number?
What's your number? So
what's your number?
Andrew Tisdale, the financial advisor, Edward Jones, has given us some thoughts to think about this morning. If you have any further questions, you can always call him at 287-9197, and he promises not to box your ears.
No.
No, you won't box.
No, I take it out on that bag downstairs.
And he's located at 233 Charlotte Road, Rutherford, a new location there. Plenty of parking there in the parking lot, so go by and see him, ask all the questions you want to ask. You can reach him at andrew.tisdale@edwardjones.com and talk to him. And he's easy to talk to, nice and gentle with you. He answers all your questions. Never gets frustrated with you, so just feel free to talk to him about your retirement.
And coffee's a really good part of that.
Coffee's a good part of that.
Anything can go great with coffee talking.
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. See you next
Y'all have a great week.
Okay, see you next week. 11 minutes after 8 o'clock, we got news from here and there. And the sheriff's report with Sheriff Chris Francis coming up also later in just during this hour. There have been 5 abandoned puppies in Polk County, part of a growing trend. Animal shelters say News 13 is reporting this story. There's found some puppies over in Polk County. It's heartbreaking. Heart of the Foothills Animal Rescue Executive Director Karen Parker said, "We're here every day to save animals and give them a second chance." But on August 1st, the Rutherfordton shelter took in 5 puppies that were left in a box along a rural road in Polk County. Now, how crazy is that? 5 puppies left in a box along a rural road in Polk County. The person who left those animals on the side of the road could have walked in instead of leaving them where nobody could find them. I would have taken these puppies in, no questions. For months, shelters nationwide have been reporting that they were nearing or exceeding capacity. Those in western North Carolina, no exception. There was a lack of available space. Jerry Arledge with Rusty's Legacy said these cases are becoming all too common. It's increased 10 to 20-fold in the past year. Arledge said there are a number of factors at play, like fallout from the COVID pandemic to the state of the nation's economy. I think a good bit of it is uncertainty of the world and the economy, Arledge said. People are saying they can't afford their dogs. I think there's a lot more animals that need our help because of the way our economy is, Parker said. I don't think people realize there's places they can go. As for abandoned puppies, 4 days later, all 5 were doing well in their foster home, being bottle fed and been given antibiotics. Everybody is gaining weight and wounds appear to be healing, Parker said. A member of the Polk County Animal Control said this is the second time puppies have been abandoned along Big Level Road in Mill Spring in recent months. The incidents are not believed to be related, but they were cautioning folks that there are animal places of care that you can put those animals whenever you don't want them anymore. Don't drop them on the side of the road. It's not good. Other stories from here, and this one by the Associated Press. When schools in one North Carolina county reopen later this month, new security measures will include stocking AR-15 rifles for school resource officers to use in the event of an active shooter. Now, some more liberal people in some liberal standing schools will be jumping up and down, screaming and yelling about that. But up in Marshall, spurred by the elementary school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, that left 19 children and 2 teachers dead in May, school officials and Madison County Sheriff Buddy Harwood have placed one of the semi-automatic rifles in each of the county's 6 schools. Each of the guns will be locked inside a safe. The North Carolina School District and Sheriff's Office are collaborating to enhance security after the Uvalde shooting revealed systemic failures and poor decision-making, resulting in more than an hour of chaos before the gunman was finally confronted and killed by law enforcement, according to a report written by an investigative committee from the Texas House of Representatives. Harwood told the Asheville Citizen-Times those officers were in that building for so long and that suspects was able to infiltrate that building and injure and kill so many kids. I just want to make sure my deputies are prepared in the event that happens. The idea of having AR-15s in schools does not sit well with Dorothy Appledge, a UNC Chapel Hill professor in the School of Education who has conducted decades of study and research on school safety and student well-being. We knew it wouldn't sit well with folks from that capacity, but he's doing it anyway. What's going to happen is we're going to have accidents with these guns, she told WLOS-TV. Just the presence of an SRO increases violence in the schools. There's more arrest of kids. Why is that? They have to have these AR-15s. It doesn't make any sense. Madison, she said, just the presence of an SRO increases violence in the schools. This is a lady who's supposed to be intelligent with the UNC Chapel Hill School of Education. Madison County School Superintendent Will Hoffman said school administrators have been meeting regularly with law enforcement officials, including Harwood, to discuss the updated safety measures. Harwood said the county's school resource officers have been training with instructors from Asheville-Buncombe Technical Community College. Harwood said the safes where the AR-15s will be kept will also hold ammunition and breaching tools for barricading doors. He said, we'll have those tools to be able to breach that door if needed. I do not want to have to run back out to the car to grab an AR because that's time lost. Hopefully we'll never need it, but I hope my guys will be prepared as prepared they can be. So pretty smart man up there, I think. A lot of folks might argue that point, but he's at least looking after the kids and and hopefully the Uvalde thing never happens again to anybody else. 16 minutes after 8 o'clock, Sheriff's Report with Sheriff Chris Francis coming up here in just a moment. Have a special guest in the studio with us this morning, a little after 8:30 this morning, so hang around for that. The Daily Courier is reporting about the Not a Sprint weekend held Friday and Saturday. Back in August 5th and 6th, raised thousands of dollars for charity, and organizers are pleased. The weekend was a partnership between the family of the late Kirk Wilkerson and the Throwing Bones nonprofit of Asheville. Wilkerson passed away at the age of 52 1 year ago. He had been living with a blood cancer, and even though he had been vaccinated, contracted COVID-19 pneumonia. Not a spring weekend, but was held in his memory. We're very pleased with the impact Not a Sprint 2022 has made and look forward to an even more impactful event next year, said Harrison Wilkerson, one of Kirk Wilkerson's sons. The final amount of profit from the weekend is not yet available. The weekend included a golf tournament, dinner, and a silent auction, and 3 6 12-hour endurance runs in Forest City. More than 250 people contributed as donors, volunteers, sponsors, and participants in the various events. Rutherford County Schools held its official Welcome Back Assembly for Teachers Monday at RS Central High School as school teachers prepare for the 2022-2023 school year. Forest City Dunbar Elementary School already started the new year, as has Rutherford Early College High School, while the majority of Rutherford County schools began Monday, August 15th. Teachers were treated to an inspiring presentation by nationally acclaimed educator Matt Miller during the opening convocation in the RS Central High School auditorium Monday morning, followed by smaller breakout sessions throughout the day. Miller spoke on the art and science of memorable teaching. $18 minutes after 8 o'clock, Sheriff's Report with Sheriff Chris Francis coming up in just a moment.
Saving money is easy when you shop at Jay's Discount Grocery. From snack foods to vegetables, fresh fruits to fresh cut meats, paper products, cleaning supplies, dog food, and so much more. You know, you just never know what you'll find at Jay's. So shop and save today. They're located at 671 Oak Street in Forest City, right beside the Hospice Resale Store. You know, when you shop at Jay's, you always walk out with money left over in your pocket.
Sheriff Chris Francis recorded the report earlier this morning. We did record it for broadcast at this time. Now here is Sheriff Francis.
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has run 168 calls for service. There have been 15 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 182. Among those arrested by the Sheriff's Office, Julie Nicole Moore, 36-year-old female of Mooresboro, was charged with trespassing and received a written promise to appear. David Nathaniel Daisley, 26-year-old male of Ellenboro, was charged with 3 counts of failure to appear and received a $500 unsecured bond. Stephen Allen Loveless, 40-year-old male of Ellenboro, was charged with failure to comply, child support, received a $200 cash bond. Jimmy Wayne Cole, 36-year-old male of Mooresboro, was charged with interfering with a utility meter and also possession of drug paraphernalia, received a written promise to appear. Angela Lynn Rubio, 4-year-old female of Ellenboro, was charged with larceny and received a $1,000 secure bond. John Casey Gazik, 49-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with fictitious information to an officer after he failed to heed the lights and sirens and received a $1,000 secure bond. Randy Marlon Hodge, 46-year-old male of Mooresboro, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 unsecured bond. Michael Eugene Hyder, 45-year-old male, was charged with harassing phone calls and received a $1,000 secure bond. Michael Joe Jimerson Jr., 55-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to comply, non-support, and received a $55 cash bond. Among our incidents, we had obtained property by false pretense on U.S. 6474 Rothson. The victim advised that they had fraudulent checks made out and also had been forged after they had obtained and sought out for an online loan. In a separate incident, we had Larsdale Main Street in Ellenboro, Dollar General. This is where Angela Rubio later was taken into custody after stealing looks like a 12-pack of sodas as well as a loaf of bread. We had a break and enter in Larsdale Vickers Road in Roaston. Looks like a relative stole prescription medication from the victim in this case. We had to fail to stop for blue lights and siren where John Casey Gazer was taken in custody off Oak Grove Church Road. We had a break and enter in Larsdale Morningstar Lake Road where a steel weed eater valued at $480 and a Husqvarna leaf blower valued at $350 was taken. And we had a Larsdale Ellenboro Henrietta Road where a known subject stole a debit card from the victim and the same was disabled before it was able to be used. Jim, that's what we have to let you know about this morning.
Sure, but, excuse me, I noticed the Sheriff's Department now has a big monster a machine there to help with crime fighting. Tell us about that and how can that help the Sheriff's Department?
Yes, sir. We have obtained a Bearcat in the last month. We have been looking at obtaining one for quite some time. It's an armored vehicle is to protect deputy sheriffs and the public from folks that want to do us harm. Unfortunately, we have been shot at several times in Bearcats and other armored vehicles that we have borrowed from both the Henderson County Sheriff's Office as well as the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office. But it is a good tool to have if someone needs to be extracted to a safe area. It's also good in flooding, can be utilized in that scenario as well. So it has a lot of uses to protect both deputies and our citizens in a time of need.
It's 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you, Sir Francis, for that report. Well, one of my favorite musicians, one of my favorite singers passed away yesterday. We probably have heard. Olivia Newton-John from Australia, the Grammy-winning superstar who reigned on pop, country, adult, contemporary, and dance charts with such hits as Physical and You're the One That I Want. And she won countless hearts as everyone's favorite Sandy in the blockbuster film version of Grease. She's died at age 73. Sad news for those of us who enjoy hearing her sing. Newton-John, a longtime resident of Australia, whose sales topped 100 million albums, died at her Southern California ranch. John Easterling, her husband, wrote on Instagram and Facebook. He said Olivia has been a symbol of triumphs and hope for over 30 years, sharing her journey with breast cancer. We ask that everyone please respect the family's privacy during this very difficult time. From 1973 to 83, Newton-John was among the world's most popular entertainers. She had 14 top single hits just in the U.S., won 4 Grammys, starred with John Travolta in Grease and with Gene Kelly in Xanadu. The fast-stepping Travolta-Newton-John duet, You're the One That I Want, was one of the era's biggest songs and has sold more than 15 million copies. Can you imagine? 15 million copies. My dearest Olivia, you made all our lives so much better. Travolta wrote in an online post, your impact was incredible. I love you so much. We will see you down the road, and we'll be all together again. Yours from the moment I saw you and forever. Your Danny, your John. She had a great career and will be missed greatly. So she fought breast cancer for a number of years and now has succumbed to that and reaching her final reward. And we wish her family much love. Sports is up next. Then my special guest in the studio.
NCN Sports. Good morning. I'm Tony Rixby. North Carolina now has a 50-50 chance to host the 2027 Summer World University Games. The event, the closest sporting event to the Olympics, the North Carolina Bid Committee has spent years putting together applications and spending money to get the state to this point. The economic impact of those games measured to range from $150 million to more than $370 million. If selected, North Carolina would welcome over 10,000 athletes, coaches, and trainers. Hill Carroll is the CEO of the bid committee. He tells NCN Sports the games would stretch throughout the triangle all the way to the Greensboro Coliseum.
We're proposing a region in North Carolina that we're branding as our North Carolina University hub, stretching from downtown Raleigh to the Greensboro Coliseum complex.
The decision will be made sometime in November. Alabama, number 1 in the preseason USA Today coaches poll, with Ohio State second and defending national champion Georgia coming in third. The Yankees breaking out of a slump, delivering plenty of punch, beating the Mariners 9-4. Here's Adam Spillane.
Josh Donaldson finished 4 for 5 with a home run and 3 RBIs as the New York Yankees snapped a 5-game losing skid with a 9-4 win over the Seattle Mariners.
The Orioles belting 3 home runs, blasting the Blue Jays last night. Craig Heist in Baltimore.
The Orioles hit 4 home runs to back the pitching of Jordan Lyles as they beat the Blue Jays 7-4. Ramon Urias got the Orioles going with a 3-run blast in the first off starter and loser Yusei Kikuchi. Anthony Santander and Ryan Mountcastle went back-to-back in the third, and Austin Hayes hit a solo shot in the sixth.
We're going out expecting to win every game, so I think we've been in this mindset now for the last couple months, and we're just continuing to play good baseball.
You're listening to NCN Sports.
It's time. It's time. It's time to protect our most precious North Carolinians.
It's time to give them the protection that they need.
Protection like ours.
Thank you. Thank you for all you're doing to ensure that children can get this safe vaccine and stay healthy.
Children like mine.
And mine. So, kids. Kids. Kids have a spot.
To take their shot.
Kids under 5 can now get their COVID-19 vaccine. Visit myspot.nc.gov for more information and to schedule their appointment today.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, NC Savin provides a free confidential service to stay informed about your offender's movements within the North Carolina Adult Correction System. Find peace of mind by downloading the app today to receive status notifications throughout an offender's sentence, probation, post-release supervision, and parole. To learn more about NC Savin or the other programs provided by the Office of Victim Services, visit ncsavin.org. That's NCSAVAN.org. This message is from the North Carolina Department of Public Safety.
The battle between golf leagues continues. The PGA Tour filing a motion against a lawsuit from LIV golfers who sued the tour to play in the FedEx Cup playoffs that start on Thursday. 3 LIV golfers qualified for the PGA Tour's postseason, but the organization doesn't want them to play because they say the golfers breached their PGA Tour contracts. Golf Channel insider Jaime Diaz says LIV golfers claim this is an emergency and there would be irreparable harm against them.
And irreparable harm seems like a very high bar for guys who've just signed for millions and millions of dollars. And, the emergency part of it seems a little fabricated too.
As if the Brooklyn Nets need more drama, the NBA team superstar Kevin Durant reportedly told the team owner either he stays or the coach and general manager stay. Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
We're tracking the chance of a few isolated storms into our Monday afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see mostly sunny skies, a hot one for us with highs in the low 90s, but still feeling like triple digits. Into tonight, we drop into the low 70s with a few clouds and a stray shower. We'll see mostly sunny skies for our Tuesday, another warm one with highs in the low 90s, feeling more like triple digits, and the chance of a few isolated showers and storms once again into Tuesday afternoon. A bit cooler weather on the way for Thursday and Friday. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione in the Weather Center.
Thank you very much, Andy. We still have clear skies. We've had some thick fog earlier this morning. It's just burning off out here. Maybe where you're driving this morning, there may be some thick fog, so please watch out for that. Anticipate that slowdown of traffic maybe, or anticipate running into a bank of fog somewhere around those mountain curves or country curves. It's 29 minutes after 8 o'clock, and we're 71 degrees, warming up today to about 90 for our daytime high, with the heat at looks like around 96 for a heat index. And one forecast I look at said showers this afternoon. Another one does not mention it, so we'll see which one of them is going to win this match of is it or isn't it going to rain this afternoon. It is 8:30. This is WCAB, and in the studio with me right now is a friend. Many of you have heard her before. She's been on with us before. No stranger to the Blue Room. I'm going to switch over here to this other microphone. And welcome Tammy Waters to our studio. She's the director, administrator of Masters Academy, which has two schools that we'll talk about in just one. Tammy, welcome.
Thank you.
Nice
to be
here. Glad to have you back again. Seems like it's been a long time since we've talked.
It has been. Lots been happening.
For the benefit of our listeners, we have new listeners all the time, people moving in here discovering WCAB that may not understand what the Masters Academy is all about. And the outdoor school, explain that to our listeners.
Okay. The Masters Academy is a private school. We're a private Christian school, interdenominational. We service students the age of 3 all the way through 12th grade. We have 2 outdoor campuses, both campuses totally immersed in the woods, in a wooded area, 125 acres, lakes, ponds, streams, pasture land, farmland, woods, and we have a forest school. Forest school would service students in K-3 through 1st grade, and then the outdoor school services 2nd through 12th grade. We have a college prep program. We offer special needs pathway. Our students can do dual enrollment with Isothermal Community College. We have a full athletic program for 6th grade through 12th grade. We now have a trades program. And we just totally enjoy being outside, seeing a lot of good benefits from the kids being totally immersed in nature.
When you say outdoors, you mean everything's outdoors?
Everything's outdoors, yes.
Working in tents or out in the sun?
We do. We have both. Yeah. Kids can sit outside. They have tarps that we can sit for shade, but we have wooded environments that the canopy of the trees, beautiful areas to be in shaded outdoor. And then we have tents that we've put up on platforms. And so they have a way to get inside for rain or inclement weather. But honestly, with the warm bubble that we have here in this area, we don't experience a whole lot of cold weather.
We talked about this last year, year before last. I just think with the kids being outdoors like that and being able to see nature, it must be exciting for them to want to come to school each day.
They love coming to school. You know, we studied this out for 6 years because it's a big thing in Europe. They've been doing it for 30 to 40 years, but the benefits far outweigh anything else you could try to do. So we're seeing, you know, putting kids in a living laboratory. At the high school level last year, our kids had 2 hours of a biology lab, totally immersed in nature, all hands-on. If students that have ADD, ADHD, we see those things decreasing significantly. an increase in exercise and an increase in health. Our students would average anywhere from 3 to 5 miles a day in walking.
Wow.
And so being able to use all of the senses in an outdoor setting. But some of the things I've noticed administratively, when you take the walls down, the students bond very differently. Significantly less behavioral issues. I mean, teacher attitudes increase. I mean, who doesn't like sitting outside and being surrounded by nature, listening to the birds?
And butterflies landing on your shoulder.
It is. It's just so many teaching opportunities. You know, being a high school science teacher myself, when I was in government schools or in private schools where we were trying to build laboratories, it seems like there's a lot of energy invested in money trying to bring laboratories inside to the building. And so you take the walls down, and everywhere you look, it's just hands-on, you know, opportunity. The more senses a student can engage, if they can use their eyes and do the visual, smell, touch, hearing, the movement, science tells us the more those are engaged in the learning process, kids learn it easier, retain it longer, and understand it better. And we're seeing those things happen. For example, test scores at the end of the year in science drastically up, which I really wasn't thinking of expecting the way that I've seen it over the last 3 years, but that makes sense because there's always teaching moments to bring science in, you know, with whatever they're doing, because it presents itself. You're right there in a science laboratory 24/7.
This concept is popping up across the country too, isn't it?
It is. We said 3 years ago when we researched this out and saw the benefits, again, because you have so many students in the United States, kids in the United States, that are being put on SSRI medications, a whole class of medications to target attention deficit disorder, hyperactivity, depression, anxiety. Now we have psychologists coming out saying, and doctors, those SSRI meds, which we've said for the last 10 years, can be harmful to students. You know, children's brains aren't fully developed till the age of 25. You talk about putting a 4-year-old on some of these medications, not understanding the long-term results. Well, we've done it long enough. Science is now telling us long-term results for some children. I'm not saying children don't need medicine,
Right.
but the level to which we're doing it, we have to pause and say, step back and let's look at this. What is the science now telling us after 10 and 15 years of these meds? So it can create other medical issues. So when you put kids in an outdoor setting and you take away the walls, you think at first those kids with ADD, ADHD are going to have the hardest struggle because, my goodness, you walk outside, you can be easily distracted by anything. I can't answer why. I can only tell you that they do focus better in an outdoor setting. And so we've worked with some parents to help them take their children off of the SSRI medicines. We were doing that even before we left the building. But there's a lot of science from the European models. Again, they've done this 30 to 50 years. You compare their test scores with test scores in other countries, you see differences. So we said 6 years ago, this is something we need to seriously look at. And I've said to educators since then, it's a wave that's going to come across the nation. We just happen to be ahead of that wave. So we're entering our 4th year. We have 3 years of experience, trial and error, because there's no American roadmap for doing this. Most schools target preschool to kindergarten, maybe 1st grade in outdoor setting. We're the first school in the United States that's not an alternative school, running a core academic program all the way through 12th grade, Christian-based, in an outdoor setting. And so we have people coming in this year that I'm excited about, going to do some studies and look at what is happening with the kids prior to being outside and since being outside several years.
I'm hearing parents and grandparents, even as you're talking, saying, I like that. How can my kids get involved? Do you have room for more students?
We do have room for students at certain grade levels. I would say, to call us and contact us. Our first day is September 6th. We start after Labor Day, run till the 1st of June. They could call the school office at 229-3172 for more information. And then the voucher system, a lot of changes with the voucher system. The legislative body is still on the pathway of making North Carolina a parent choice state. So you and I've talked over the last, 8 years of how they've stair-stepped increases of offering money for kids in need that would like an alternative choice in education, or just parents to have choice in education. So big changes coming into this school year. The Opportunity Scholarship is now at $6,168 that a family can use to pay toward education of their child in alternative-based programs. And then we have the Education Savings Account for students of special needs, and they've increased that to $9,000 to $17,000. A student could get anywhere from $9,000 to $17,000 that a parent can use for all kinds of different methods to educate their child. That could be putting them in a private school. It could be a combination of using a homeschool pod. Rutherford County has a very good organized homeschool community. And so we're supporters of parents' choice to educate their child the way they deem best. But the Education Savings Account has no financial restrictions to a parent. Parents could be multimillionaires. Their child can still qualify if they've been diagnosed with a learning difference or learning disability. And so I strongly encourage parents of special needs children to look at that money that's available. They can use it for tutorial. They can hire a tutor if they need it. They can do outside testing if they need it. If they want to do horse therapy for their child, they can pay for that out of those monies. It's not just to pay tuition to a private school. And then the Opportunity Scholarship is financially based for the moment, but 90% of the families in Rutherford County, believe it or not, qualify for that scholarship. So they can reach out to the North Carolina State Education Assistance Authority at their website, or they could Google those vouchers for North Carolina, or they could call our school office. We'd be happy to give them information on how they could fill out applications to apply for those.
That phone number again is
229-3172 for the Masters Academy.
Out of curiosity, it doesn't take students long to adjust to that kind of setting, did it, or did it?
There's a learning curve. I would tell you within a week to 3 weeks, you can pretty much tell if a student is going to be able to make the transition to outdoor. And being appropriately dressed for weather is the key. It's not about what is the weather, it's about what are you wearing. Because if you're appropriately dressed, you're going to enjoy the experience a whole lot better. Rain and mud are the two favorite things of our students, So they're going to get dirty, they're going to get muddy. Those are good things. We do allow kids to go barefoot in reason on certain times. There's a lot of good things that happen to the body with children being able to go barefoot, learning balance. So yes, kids can make the transition. I've had students enrolling at the beginning thinking they're not going to like it because they've never been outdoor. We have kids that have never climbed a tree, and they fall in love with being outside. And those are good things. Our kids are more grounded. I'm seeing one of the overall changes with teenagers is they seem more down to earth. And I attribute that to being in an outdoor setting. And the second thing, I attribute it to our cell phone policy. We've worked through all kinds of, you can create cell phone policies in all kinds of different ways. I feel like we've tried them all. We finally just said, not on campus. It's not good enough to be turned off. It's not good enough to be on silent. And the science supports that. Kids are addicted to technology and phones. And as a parent, you have to start looking at the connection of what that does with learning, because it inhibits learning. So we've just said, don't bring your cell phone to campus. And we've seen a difference in kids' eye contact, communication skills increasing, and they're just more down to earth.
Did you get into the mask mandates?
Our board makes decisions based on the Constitution and parents' rights, based on Scripture, and based on accurate science. So our COVID team, which had nurses and doctors on it, we just followed the science. Being outside was different. Now, being in the building, we may have made different decisions, but being outside, we did not experience outbreaks or issues, with the virus. Masking was a parent's decision. That was a teacher's decision, and that's still where we would be. Those are parent decisions over their children and their children's health. But being outside, our kids were normal. We didn't do distancing. We just, ran school normally, but we were outside, so we fared well.
I know you don't like to make public the location of the campus, but I've had the privilege of seeing it, and it is an outstanding, beautiful setting for the kids to come to school every day.
It is.
And be a part of a setting like that outdoors.
It is. We don't publicize the location.
Sure.
Just
for
for
security reasons.
The property owner's privacy as well, but it's a gorgeous setting. We've just been blessed to be able to have access to that.
Now, how many students overall from kindergarten to the seniors can you handle?
We're at about 100. Can we handle?
Can you handle, yeah.
We could probably... we could handle 200 plus,
yeah.
But we're not trying to become the largest school in the county. We just are growing to manage our growth. So we're not running like 2 classes of second grade or 2 third grades. We're just growing to put 15 in each of our classes at each grade level. And we have about 154 students right now.
That's great. That's great. Yes. And the session starts September
6th, first day of school.
I'm talking with Tammy Waters. She's over the Masters Academy, which is outdoor school, and always interesting and fascinating to hear the kind of success they're having out there with these kids outdoors, never going inside, rain or shine or cold weather or what.
That's right.
It's fun.
That's right. We crank up the fires in the wood stoves.
Yes. Congratulations.
Once
again, tell our listeners how they might get in touch with them if they have further questions or want to talk about enrolling their kids or talk about the vouchers.
You could go to our website, tmalions.com, or you could call our office at 229-3172. For voucher information, you can contact the North Carolina State Education Assistance Authority.
Tammy Waters, glad you're here.
Thank you.
Have a great year.
You too.
And I'll be back in just a moment.
Smith Drugs of Forest City, we are continuing to offer the COVID-19 rapid testing and the COVID-19 vaccinations. Please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591 with any questions or concerns that you may have. You may also visit our website at smithsdrugsfc.com and schedule your COVID rapid 19 test or your vaccination. Again, if you have any questions, please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591.
Smith's Drugs of Forest City is offering the flu vaccines. You can walk in Monday through Friday or by appointment only on Saturdays. The Dream Station and System 1 CPAP customers, if you need assistance registering your recall devices, you can call the Home Medical Department at 245-4591. And Smith's Drugs has a large selection of in-stock mastectomy bras, now half price. So come by our home equipment department on West Main Street in Forest City. Smith's Drugs, 245-4591. Did you know that approximately 34% of women worldwide are affected by urinary incontinence? But there is good news. You don't have to suffer anymore. Brock Family Care in Forest City is excited to introduce a breakthrough treatment for urinary incontinence called BTL Emsella. All you have to do is sit on the Emsella chair for 30 minutes fully clothed 2 times a week for 3 weeks, and your quality of life will significantly improve. Sound interesting? Then call 828-382-7282 to learn more about this amazing treatment, or visit our website at www.brockfamilycare.com.
Let's see. Let me turn my mic up. My Great America with Jim and Butch, 9:05 this morning, and we hope you'll join us for that information. As always, 30 minutes right after, about 25 minutes right after 9:05, we get started with My Great America with Jim and Butch. It's always fun and fascinating to have Tammy Waters in the studio to talk about that outstanding outdoor school and forest school that she supervises and looks after. It is quite a concept that I'm impressed with. All right, going through some stuff the other day, I found this from my stuff, from my email stuff. If my body were a car, this is the time I would be thinking about trading it in for a newer model. I've got bumps and dents and scratches in my finish, and my paint job is getting a little dull. But that's not the worst of it. My headlights are out of focus, and it's especially hard to see things up close. My traction is not as graceful as it once was. I slip and slide and bump into things even in the best of weather. My white walls are stained with varicose veins. It takes me hours to reach my maximum speed. My fuel rate burns inefficiently, but here's the worst of it. Almost every time I sneeze, cough, or sputter, either my radiator leaks or my exhaust backfires. So that's my story of my life in my car. 10 minutes before 9 o'clock. Right now, I'll be back in a moment.
Attention, all of our WCAB listeners. Here's a way that we can help the people in Kentucky. And thanks to Henson Building Material, they are the collection point for the much-needed items. Toothbrushes, toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, baby wipes, diapers, rubber gloves, cleaning supplies, other items, soap, body wash, deodorant, disposable razors, feminine hygiene products, adult diapers, hairbrushes, combs, new towels, washcloths, and bedding. Please drop all donations at Henson Building Material by noon on Friday, August the 19th. Now, if you prefer to make a cash donation, they will use 100% of the funds raised toward purchasing these items. Help us help Kentucky. This message brought to you by Henson Building Material, working together to help families affected by the recent flooding. And please remember, drop all donations off by noon Friday, August the 19th.
It's a good thing Henson Building Material is doing to help out over there. And I'm trying to get in touch with someone who is out there on the scene to see if I can get a report, because they have such tragic things going on out there with that flood. And I've got a couple of friends that are out there, and I'm trying my best to get in touch with them via cell phone and see if I can maybe get a live report from there. I'll keep working on that. Hopefully, before they get back here, I can get that live report. If not, even after they get back, maybe we can talk about it. Got My Great America with Jim and Butch coming up at 9:05. We'll take you down memory lane in the process. One, I like to brag on radio. So how does radio stack up against all the new audio services intent on stealing its entrenched position as America's travel companion? Well, radio accounts for more in-transit listening hours each week than all other audio sources combined. The new numbers show its 32% share of consumer traveling time among persons 18 to 64 is more than 5 times that of satellite radio, 6%, and 16 times that of streaming audio, 2%. Radio's share of travel time jumps to 41% for persons who are alone during their treks, and underscoring its strong companion's role. Radio's weekly reach among travelers is also unchallenged, with 70% of the USA touchpoints sample saying they listen to radio while traveling or commuting. Because time spent listening is higher for radio than other forms of radio, it grabs a disproportionately higher share of travel listening time. And its total weekly reach among 18 to 64-year-olds is 85% compared to 41% for internet streaming audio. The new data is from Reality Mind's cross-platform USA Touchpoints measurement product, which uses an e-diary wherein survey panelists enter their media uses along with other information every 30 minutes. Radio is defined as AM/FM. What is interesting about that is that more and more folks are tuning back in. They had tuned out. And we want to also give a big shout-out for those folks who watch online here on our streaming method, www.wcab59.com. And you can also refer back to this program. If you missed the interview with Tammy, you can roll back it later on. And we'll be clicking off here in a few minutes and join back for My Great America with Jim and Butch. A lot of folks all around the country are listening to that. If they're out of range, they're watching it while we're doing it, or rolling it back and watching it later. So we encourage you to do the same thing and pass the word on. 7 minutes before 9 o'clock. Take a little pause here, a little break here. But in the meantime, we'll walk down memory lane. Some classic oldies that I think you probably will remember and recognize as we get ready for My Great America with Jim and Butch. Coming up in just a moment.
When you want your ad dollars to reach the masses, call the sales team at WCAB. Call Tracy or Jim, 828-287-3356, 100.9 FM and 590 AM.